All right, guys, got Morgan Fox joining us right now. Everyone should still have recording access, so shouldn't be any issues there. Reminder, use the raise hand button if you have questions. With that said, Morgan, if you can have Rob unmute your mic, then we should be good to get started. Perfect. All right, guys, someone starts off with the first question. The floor is open.
Morgan, having been in LA and seen what the Cardinals are putting together out there, what are your impressions of them and how they're kind of a different sort of offense to prepare for you guys?
You know, it's a team that has a ton of weapons from the quarterback position. You know, they have a great quarterback who's playing at an extremely high level. I mean, even as you've seen last night, the backup quarterback's playing at a high level. Running back they have is extremely talented, runs really well. They have weapons all out on the edge. O-line's playing, you know, very well. So it's a team that you have to prepare for weapons across the board. You can't just circle one guy on the list. You have to be prepared for the run game as well as the pass game, and a dynamic quarterback who can throw the ball as well as change the game with his feet.
Because that offense isn't necessarily conventional, I mean, how different does the preparation have to be for you guys?
You know, you have to go in knowing there's a lot more things that can happen, I think is the best way to say it. You have to plan for, well, this play could be a run, it could be a pass, it could be a boot, it could be a read. You have to just kind of know that there's a lot of things that could happen and know your job as best you can. I think that's honestly the best way you prepare is know and understand your job and be able to do it at the highest level. So when plays kind of turn into something you didn't expect, you're able to adjust and make the play.
All right, let's go to David Newton.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Appreciate you being with us today. Hey, I want to ask you about Hassan Reddick, but what has impressed you most about what you've seen out of him? Because a lot of people after last year on the 12.5 sacks were wondering if he was just a one-hit wonder or what.
You know, Haas has impressed me a lot, mainly, or not even mainly, but first off with his off-the-field leadership. You know, the guy cares deeply about the team and the game and always, you know, makes it a point to emphasize, you know, trying to put in guys' heads, you know, what we need to do and how he can best help the team. So that's definitely what's impressed me about him as far as being off the field, just what a good guy he is. And then on the field, you know, he just plays with an intensity and he's prepared and he comes off the ball fast, you know, and just how he can get to the quarterback. And, you know, there's plays where, you know, guys can't even get to him. They can't touch him. He can dip his shoulder into somebody and get to the ball. So he's a guy who can change the game on a whim, and he's twitchy and he's physical. He's a guy that you definitely appreciate having around.
For a guy his size, though, to be being taken on like big tackles, I mean, how does that add another layer to how special he's been?
Oh, it definitely helps, you know, especially, you know that you got a guy on the edge who's just a dog and his mentality is not going to change. And he's not afraid to go up against anybody, and you can depend on him to be there regardless of who he's playing.
Were you aware of him much before as a pass rusher before you were teammates with him?
Oh yeah, you know, I've played him for the last couple of years, and we always knew who he was, and so we definitely were aware of the, you know, at least I've been aware of the talent and ability that he has.
Thank you.
Let's go to Steven Toronto.
Morgan, whenever one side of the ball is way ahead of the other side of the ball, there's always kind of a danger of things in the locker room turning into a offense versus defense or defense versus offense type of situation. With the way that the defense has been playing relative to the offense, how would you say things are in the locker room right now in terms of the discourse and communication between those two sides of the ball?
Things are fine. You know, at the end of the day, this league is very much a league of ups and downs. And there's times when we have not played well and, you know, the offense has been someone we've had to lean on and they've answered the bell. It's just how this business goes. You know, sometimes they're going to need us and we're going to need them. And we understand that. And we understand we got a ton of guys who are talented. So there's no divide. There's no people getting upset and pointing fingers. This business is this business, and it's the ebbs and flows and ups and downs. And, you know, they're going to need to lean on us sometimes. And we know down the road, there's going to be times when we're going to need to lean on them, and they're definitely going to be there to answer that bell.
All right, we'll go to Joe Person next.
Morgan, Shaq was just sitting there where you are now and told us he thought the Mac Jones play was BS and he should be fined. Is that your view as well?
100%. You know, after seeing a couple angles of it, you know, that's not something that should go on. You know, a guy making a play and then being put at risk of an unnecessary injury that didn't need to happen. You know, we all know that things happen in this game, but that definitely wasn't cool, and it's definitely something that needs to be examined by the league.
Bill Belichick said today that he thought Mac figured that Brian had the ball and he was trying to tackle him. Your response?
I have no idea from their point of view, but from what we saw, it definitely looked like BS.
All right, do you guys have any more questions for Morgan? All right, appreciate the time, Morgan.
Appreciate it.